Welcome to the Baltimore Bootstrappers Breakfast meeting. I'm your host, Shadi Laser, and we're going to get right into the presentation topic of the meeting, which is focused on strategic partnerships, how to attract and nurture profitable strategic partnerships for your business or brand. So I'm going to share my screen and go into the overview of Bootstrappers Breakfast and what you can expect from upcoming virtual meetings and take things from there. So first of all, in terms of what is Bootstrappers Breakfast? Bootstrappers Breakfast in itself was started in Silicon Valley, and it's a franchise model. So it's for startups, for founders, solopreneurs, freelancers who are seeking to grow their business, have support, have a place where they can discuss the challenges of running their business in a supported environment. Our structure includes roundtables, it includes hot seats, it includes featured speakers. So if you are a business owner, if you are a startup founder, and you've had some degree of success and you want to share your story, share your struggles, share what has worked for you, we do have a call for speakers for our upcoming meetings as well as for the 2022 campaign. Bootstrappers Breakfast has always been an in-person experience. Obviously, with the way the world is going now, that is starting to come back online. But until then, there will be a virtual component to our meetings. And so this is our meetup profile where, of course, you can register for current meetings and also understand what is coming up on the calendar. So let's get into the slides, and this will be sent out to all who RSVP for the meeting as well as to our mailing list as well. So let me go into presentation mode. So a bootstrapper in itself is an individual or team who has taken on the role of bankrolling, financing their company's growth without inside, or let's say without investors. So there are the majority of business owners out there, especially during this time, which is known as the Great Resignation, are bankrolling and financing their own business. So what are some ways that you can bankroll or finance a business? That could be through, let's say, savings. For many of you, you are actually on the clock, meaning you're employed by some company and building your dream in your off hours, or maybe you have some sort of e-commerce model where it continues to run outside of your influence and direct hands-on. So there's numerous ways to start a business, but if you don't have, let's say, access to capital, or you choose to build it on your own, then that's where Bootstrappers Breakfast provides that support network. Those who have, let's say, gain access to funding as a startup, you're welcome to attend meetings as well, but the focus is on the bootstrapper. And so moving along. Let's go into the topic of strategic partnerships. So I would say for many people, there's a great misconception on what strategic partnerships are. And so in this session, I will look to demystify a bit and provide some clarity. So most people, especially bootstrappers, especially people who are within the first 3 to 5 years of business, or those people, and I'm going back in the time machine, I'm thinking about myself. I'm talking about myself in this case, in my 20s, who were in all sorts of discussions with people about business ideas. So here's how it used to transpire: meet someone and discuss ideas, and the idea was, the next step was, let's form a partnership. So let's say in music, for example, in a past life I was an engineer. I've been in, and I had conversations about starting a record label, which of all the things I've done, that was one of the things I said I would never do, is start a record label or manage artists. So, and I would have conversations, let's say, and many of the pieces in place would be there, such as studio equipment, with time to record. So the groundwork was there, and other people would come around and say, well, I have access to artists, so on and so forth. Let's form a company together. And so when you form a company with someone, you will, there's two things that will teach you more about a person than anything else. Three things, actually. Number one is if you start a business with them. And number two, if you live with them. And so it doesn't matter if they're a roommate, doesn't matter if it's college, the military, you name it, or even a relationship. When you live with someone or you start a business partnership with them, you will learn more about that person, their values, how they make decisions, what they prioritize, and any other thing you will do in life. Do not go down this path to say, you were right. Just take my word for it. And so, with that in mind, the difference between a strategic partnership and a business entity are totally different. And I'll explain why. So, when we talk about the strategic partnership, this is a collaboration of resources for a particular project, which in most cases has a start date and an end date. So most strategic partnerships are what they call joint ventures, which are, we're coming together to pool our resources to accomplish this specific need, goal within this project. We are not going to, let's say, our state and filing a official business partnership, which is ongoing, which doesn't have a start and end date. So that in itself makes things a lot easier, in that all of us have the given assets to start a joint venture partnership, but we all don't have the patience, the time to start a new business partnership from the ground. So in review, strategic partnerships, also known as joint ventures, are project driven. Each person is contributing to the growth of that project, contributing assets, or versus a partnership business entity where two people are starting a new entity from the ground up. Big difference. And I would say, in most cases, going back to that the version of myself in my 20s, if I knew what a joint venture partnership was and I knew the difference, many of the conversations would have been funneled into projects versus full-blown partnerships. So instead of starting the entire record label, could be, well, let's record an EP for a specific artist, or let's do a compilation project. And that way, all the resources go to the recording, packaging, marketing, distribution of that particular project. And we ensure that there's a fair profit split versus the full blown business model. And so, at what phase of business growth do strategic partnerships have value? And I would say in the mid-level phase is where you're going to have the most value. So I would say within the first 3 to 5 years of establishing a business. However, once you understand what joint venture partnerships or strategic partnerships are, then you can, let's say in my case, I'm launching a new business entity very soon. And so with my understanding of strategic partnerships, this is a way that I have grown businesses. So I'm going to reach out to my partners and say, hey, this is coming up. This is coming down the line. I need your support on this. And so from day one, that will help to elevate the growth of that entity. And so these are some things to keep in mind. And so the how will be covered as we continue down this path. So, but in essence, the way that partnerships work or why they work is because you're leveraging other people's influence. So OPI, you're leveraging OPA, which is other people's audiences. And so you have to keep in mind that with each person you work with, they've developed their credibility over time with that audience, with their audience, and they've built up quite a bit of influence. So in partnering with them, you're gaining a warm introduction to a new audience in order to continue to grow. Very important. And so when we talk about planning, and so this is for those who are in business. So when we talk about business growth, business acquisition, yes, your partners will be a great asset in the growth of your business, as well as when it's time to be acquired. So similar to when your business is going through the valuation process, what will happen is there will be an audit of certain assets within your overall portfolio. And so your mailing list, for example, is one example of asset that can raise the value of your business. So if you have a list of customers, that's one list. But what is often left out is the list of partners. And so having that active communication, having a solid portfolio of, let's say, industry leaders within your portfolio is going to be to your advantage. So I definitely recommend that within your business plan, you have a section for partnerships. I would actually call it strategic partnerships, and list those people and list their statistics. So if they lead, let's say, a good example would be Ron Schmelzer, who leads the Tech Breakfast franchise. And so if I was looking to grow my business, or let's say I was going through a business valuation cycle, I would list his name, I would list Tech Breakfast and some of the statistics related to that. And so that would raise the value of my network. And it speaks to when a business person or entity is looking to acquire, it shows that you have momentum, you have skin in the game. And so we talk about business planning, contracts versus agreements. For many people within the joint venture partnership space, many deals are done on a handshake or through an email, but I'm going to take it a step further and say at a minimum, you should have a partnership agreement which lists the terms, so on and so forth. If you're going to have an ongoing or ongoing relationship that involves financial transactions and payouts, then yes, you should have a contract of some sort that lists out what those terms are, lists out who is going to be part of it, and also your exit strategy in terms of duration, in terms of if the terms of engagement, meaning if you are to send 3 emails in support of my launch, or you are to provide a 20% commission on every referral, then we need to spell out those terms within the contract. And if this is not being met, what the terms in terms of the exit strategy is for both. And so, as well as review periods for the progress of the agreement. Let's move into software as we wrap this up. And so when it comes to software, yes, there's a few must-haves that you need in order to succeed. And so your customer relationship management system will allow for you to track the status of your strategic partnerships. You can have many conversations at conferences, at events, so on and so forth, where the details get lost, or you have a partnership call and the details also get lost. Next, so CRM system is important. There are plenty CRM systems that exist. And so I won't steer you in terms of a recommendation. Just know that they are extremely valuable if you're going to be successful with strategic partnerships. Next would be affiliate platforms. As I mentioned in the previous slide, there's going to be commission-based partnerships that you may want to get involved with. So what affiliate platforms allow you to do is to create a shopping cart and allow for that shopping cart to do a profit share on any sales that are made through that page. So you can set up a partnership link and give an affiliate link to your partner, of which when they share to their network and someone makes a purchase, then they receive credit. Next would be your so affiliate. I will make a few recommendations on affiliate platforms. Thrivecart is great. Samcart is great. Also, Keep, formerly known as Infusionsoft, a bit more robust, but still industry standards as far as affiliate software goes. And so there are a few of you out there who say, well, I do my business primarily through PayPal, and I primarily do my business through Stripe. And so the management of payout is why you would use affiliate platforms. The automation of affiliate payouts is why you would use affiliate platforms. So Stampcart, for example, works with PayPal and works with Stripe. So it's basically software that's built around those payment processors that will allow you to automate that process. So one thing you don't want to have a reputation for doing is paying people who are promoting for you late. Next would be meeting video conference software. So the Microsoft Teams of the world, the Zooms of the world, the Google Meets of the world. You need a way, especially in today's world, to meet with people. And so that is important. So invest in meeting video conference software, landing pages, so that you can share what your offer is, and also allow for people to schedule and or register. And next would be calendar scheduling apps. And with landing pages, let me go back to that topic. Landing pages can be through standalone, such as card, Instapage, or lead pages. It can also be through a page on your website or a subdomain. So it can be partnerships.mrshadid.com, for example, or it can be mrshadid.com/partnerships. So few strategies, or let's say decisions, you can make with that. So next would be calendar scheduling apps, and schedule once, Calendly are great for that. And so, or you can book me is another. And so with calendar scheduling apps, what those do is they give you the ability to remove the phrase, when are you available, from the conversation, and allow people to schedule based on their availability and time. And finally, a few business models. Referral partnership, which means if I'm a business coach and I help people start and launch their business, one question that will come up is, well, I need a CPA to manage my finances. And so I can set up a referral partnership with a CPA who is trusted and reputable, and deliver those services, or pass those services on to the CPA once my work is done. And so the CPA would provide a finder's fee or commission for every new person that I would send. Product launch formula is the Jeff Walker style launch. And if you haven't read Product Launch Formula, it's a good chapter in your education as an online business owner for services, especially. And so the launch model is very heavily driven on affiliate commissions. So each person sends out what's called swipe copy, which is the business owner writes up the promotion in their own words and gives each partner the ability to share with their audience. And so look up the product launch formula. And next would be the product marketplace model, which is your ClickBanks, your JV Zoos of the world. And so you can go and grab the product. And so what this does is it allows you to present new offers to your audience, monetize your audience through affiliate commissions. And so with product launch and referral base, it is not mandatory that you have, or excuse me, it is mandatory that you have some relationship. Product marketplace model, you do not need a relationship with the creator of the product. And so this has been the Bootstrappers Breakfast October edition. We will be back in November. Please view our meetup profile for more details, and we'll come back with a new topic and go from there. Shadidi Laser, thank you for tuning in.